Selector.
Everybody, and welcome to what is a Mocha Madness. Mocha Madness. Look, March Madness is one of my favorite times of the year, and I was trying to create something that could come on the tail end of March Madness and just have some fun with it in the bourbon community. And when I learned about Maker's Mark getting rid of their stave, I had to do something, and it's like, oh, Mocha Madness. So there's going to be more about what the Mocha stave is, and what the Maker's Mark private selection is here in a bit. But as people kind of come in, let's get to know each other tonight. Let's find out where everyone's at, what's going on, what are you drinking? Are you going to taste along with me? Are you going to just kind of kick back and, and watch? I'd love to know. Tell me, where's everyone from and what are you drinking? Oh, the Mashing Drum is in the house. What is up, Jason? Good to see you, my friend. Oh, man, I always get the heebie-jeebies when Mashing Drum's in the house. Eric Thompson says, watching that circle twist and turn around Fred's logo is mesmerizing. I will tell you, it kind of takes you down a rabbit hole, doesn't it? You just kind of look at it like, watch this YouTube program. Ooh. Hey, ADHD, Whiskey's in the house. What's up, Matt? How you doing, my friend? By the way, Matt's also a member of this YouTube community. We have a membership program. Just click the join button. We have a member call-in show coming up tomorrow night, and Jacqueline's going to make an appearance on Saturday's live stream with the singling level members. Now, Mark says he doesn't have any Maker's Mark to join the fun tonight, so he's going to pour some Balcones single malt. I will tell you, that's a fantastic pour. I cannot think of a more unique pour to contrast what I'm tasting. Those are very different whiskeys. Very, very different whiskeys. So let's see. Who else? Okay, so Leonard Westman's tuning in from Hayden Lake, Idaho, starting off with some rare bird. Rare breed, maybe rare breeds, rare bird. Peter B is having some 1792, and Elijah Craig Small Batch. Eric's from Las Cruces, New Mexico. That's a beautiful area. I love New Mexico. New Mexico is one of my absolute favorite states. I go there and have carne adobada, the red chilies that they have in New Mexico. The way they cook in New Mexico is very, very unique, and I don't think that state gets enough credit for its flavor profiles that they bring to food. I absolutely love what they do. It looks like Banker Griff is enjoying some Maker's Mark Community Batch. All right, Jeff Bell's having some Coopers tonight. John Morris, Maker's Mark 101. Very nice. Very nice. Maker's Mark 101. Very nice. Hey, Rich! Rich is a new member here. Everybody, how about it for Rich? Let me find my bullhorn, my celebration horn. Where'd it go? That's not it. There we are. All right, how about it for Rich? Welcome to the crazy, wacky, wild membership world that we have. Things get a little crazy in here. Joe Road Trucks drinking some Rolling Fork rum. That is definitely Foursquare. Absolutely awesome. Whiskey Nose is in Woodinville tonight, like Woodinville, Washington. That's pretty darn cool. Danny Line says, water and taxes, but I'll be sipping with everyone tomorrow on the live. So Danny is an accountant in Connecticut, and we have a famous line here on the channel that Danny can't get it in Connecticut. So this is a guarantee that Danny, everything we're tasting here tonight, guarantee will not be able to get in Connecticut. This is my Bourbon Podcast. What up, Harry? Look at that hair. You're rocking it, brother. Cheers. Thank you so much for that, Perry. We've been watching some old Daryl Hall videos, and I think I'm between like 1984 and 1986 for Daryl Hall. So, not that is the not that that is what I'm going for. But look, I just want to grow my hair out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, I just want to say a big welcome to Rich. Lots of good times we have in the member community, and just absolutely good people here. Now, one of the things I want to do is I want to take a look at the bracket. Let's all take a look at the bracket, and you can see it behind me. And we're going to talk about each one of these and kind of why they are where they are. Now, here's the deal. What we are looking at is we're looking at a there we go. Boom. All right, so there's a bracket. Rounds 1 and 2. Now, I have put all of these in the ranking that I thought was best for based on taste profile and kind of like who was picking it. Now, Warrior Spirit is a USO pick, but done by my good friend Kurt Colson, and I tasted this with Miss America. I literally tasted this with Miss America a couple years ago. And that may have swayed my opinion of this, but I drank the whole damn bottle that I was gifted, and I had to get another bottle, and it was absolutely beautiful. Puzzle Bar, which is a famous bar in California, is coming in at 15. At number 8, the 18 seed, Bourbon and Beyond. I actually picked that one, and it was not as good as I thought it could have been. Now, the qualifications for tonight is, I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. I feel like that's a better spot. The qualifications for tonight is basically it has to be, very mocha heavy. And so the Warrior Spirits, 6 mocha staves, 4 cuvee. Puzzle Bar is P22 of 146, 1 mocha stave, 1 SP1. Bourbon and Beyond is P23, Mocha 4, Cuvée 2, SP1. Coming in at the 8th seed is 21st Amendment. I actually don't know who this is. There's several 21st Amendment bars. There's one in Shelby, Kentucky. There's one in New Orleans. There's also a liquor store called 21st Amendment. Big Cedar, which is a, club, I think, coming in at number 9, but that's a really good combo. They've got Mocha 8, one P21, and then a Cuvée 1. Churchill's P21, 46-1, Mocha 7, SP1. Caesar's Palace, in Las Vegas, is P22, Mocha 6, Cuvée 2. Westport Whiskey and Wine has the same stave combo as Warrior Spirit. 6 Mochas, 4 Cuvées. Grandpa's Toddy, 146 stave, 1 Mocha 8 stave. 21 seat. Now this one entered the San Francisco World Spirits Competition a few years ago. It did double gold, and it was also really close to winning the category. 2 46, 7 Mochas, and 1 SP. Hokus Pokus, 16 seed, up against the Maury. That'll be coming up here pretty soon. Number 7, Whiskey Magazine / Liquor Barn. Then Corona Cigar at number 10. Bayway Liquors, a famous liquor store out of New Jersey. We'll be taking on Hook and Ladder, a 3-4 combo. And then Justin's House of Bourbon versus Aviary. We'll be taking on Justin's House of Bourbon versus Aviary. So now I want to kind of go through what this process is. If you're new to bourbon, the term stave will be used a lot. It is basically the type of wood that is used to create a barrel. And as people were starting to do private barrel selections, Maker's Mark was kind of left in the cold. They didn't want to do private barrel selections. They wanted to do something different. And they decided to kind of follow the program that they created with Maker's 46. And they created these little stave inserts, and they created different recipes for each one of those inserts. And I'm going to go ahead and show you all a video of what those look like. I'm going to talk about it as we are going. So you get a group together, and you choose your flavor profile. So you going back here. So if you go back here, take a look at that. So you see these like staves. You see these little medallions here. By each one of the medallions, at the end of the medallions, you'll see that those are the blends. And so people will taste on a table together, and then they will decide what recipe they want to go with, and they will try it out, and then they will create their own blend, kind of like my buddy Ryan Cecil is here. And then they all get together, and they taste and they choose, kind of like Ryan's group here with Bourbon Pursuit did, and there was a good note found.
Goddamn marzipan.
And Kenny did not like the note of marzipan, so I don't know if that one got picked. And that's what the staves look like. The staves are basically, those are the stave inserts. They put them inside the barrel just like that. Thank you all for sharing your photos. And it will sit in then they put the whiskey in the barrel, and then you fill the barrel up. And then it basically will then go and age inside this little area here. Now this is the artistic side, but you see the slats, you see like kind of like a rick structure. That's where they will age. And the thing is that this program has to age in the cold. So like the heat, it can be really impactful on these, and it's definitely it's a very cool program. I actually think it's the best experience in the barrel selections that are out there. And I always get very excited when I get to take a new group of people to it, because it allows them to experience whiskey at a very high level. You can build a lot of camaraderie out around it. It's just a lot of fun to do that. Now let's take a look at some of the picks some of the comments that's going on in here. Tim Cornet, when I bought my Maker's Mark, they had a Mocha stave, and that smell, wow, is it just something? It is. The Mocha smell was just absolutely delicious. I just love that one. Who else is taking a sip every time marzipan is mentioned tonight? That's a good question, Peerless Pete. Peerless Pete Sabo in the house. I do. I love me some marzipan, and I'm not afraid to say it. And that is a delicious flavor note if you can find it in the whiskey. Now, tonight is actually a very important, live stream. Just beyond the fact that we're having this cool together tournament style moment. This is where we're a little after a year after I basically had to thrust myself into YouTube for survival. And so this YouTube community saved me, during the pandemic. And so I thank you all from the bottom of my heart every single time I can. But you all saved me during the pandemic. You kept my soul alive. You helped me just continue my passion of educating people about bourbon. I never intended to become a YouTuber, but I put myself in this. This was always meant to be a way to kind of talk about my festivals, to talk about my books. But as I got to doing it, as I got to interact with the community, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the interaction that you just can't get anywhere else. And I really am an educator. That's what I am, more than a critic, more than anything else. I'm an educator when it comes to whiskey and spirits in general. And I love what I do. So this has given me an opportunity to be who I am and what I am, which is an educator and someone who is passionate about American whiskey. And now the other part I'm really passionate about, saying I like one thing more than the other. And by the way, we've got I've got this compilation here where I pit them all together. And so here is the first matchup. I'm putting my own in the mix. All right, so here we go. We are going to get into it. Starting with Puzzle Bar. Up against my pick that I did for Bourbon and Beyond. It looks like we have a new member here. Welcome to Traveler Guy. Congratulations for becoming a member. You are going to love it. We have a good time here. All right, so here we go. Just realized I didn't have a spitter. Uh-oh. This might be a Phil Chiltern night, folks. Might be a Phil Chiltern night. All right, so tonight's notebook is actually going to be my last one from my series, or my barrel picks that I've done here. You can see that when you do these, when you do barrel picks at Maker's Mark, you get these really cool notebooks, and you get to put in your notes. You can see my sloppy handwriting there. And there's the Mocha. There's the Mocha. May it rest in peace. And if you take a look close in there, you will see that the note marzipan is in my Mocha notebook section. I did not even realize that until I opened it up. But marzipan is in the notebook section. So why did you get rid of the Mocha? Maker's Mark. Why? Okay, here we go. 15. Oh, boy. It smells beautiful. Okay, 15 definitely beats 18, which, you know, again, that's mine. So I'm kind of like saying mine is if I don't pick if I don't pick mine, and I can crush my own, that means you know that, you know, at least I'm being objective. So 18 smells like chewing chewing tobacco, and I don't really want to be smelling chewing tobacco right now. Whereas 15 smelling quite beautiful, you know, very layered in toffee. Well, that's beautiful. I like 15 a lot. 15 is just layered in that kind of like vanilla, like a vanilla icing. 18. This is an easy one for me. And again, I am not a fan of I'm not a fan of like chewing tobacco, like really pronounced chewing tobacco notes, because I dipped and I chewed, and like now I kind of, when I smell it, it's like ugh. So if you like chewing tobacco and you like kind of minty notes, you're going to love my Bourbon and Beyond pick from 2017 or 2018. Now you could say like, well, why did you pick it if it sucks right now? I mean, I guess at the time when I was tasting it, it tasted good, but it definitely does not taste good tonight. So Puzzle Bar defeats my own, against my own palate in tonight's tasting. So how do you like them apples? So Puzzle Bar takes the victory. Now we've got another matchup. All right, so the whole plan was that as soon as I had chosen one, I would get the little sticker and put it up there. Well, as it turns out, getting the sticker, you know, you ever had one of those stickers that just like you can't get it open, you know? There we go. So you can feel free to put it in the chat, be like, bro, we don't want to be watching you do stickers all night. You know, just remember it for tomorrow. And we can do that. But I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. So Puzzle Bar will be taking on Warrior Spirit later tonight. So now we have... So Puzzle Bar is still in the running. Mine is not. So we have Hokus Pokus out of Louisiana. And we have the Maury out of Michigan. #16 has a very 16 and 17 smell very similar, actually. Let's take a look at those. So we've got 6 mochas. They both have 6 mochas. They both have they both have 46. So they share 46 and the mochas. So very similar. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. On the taste, 17, the Mori is coming off very like creme brulee like. 16. Oh. 16's an easy drinker. Definitely has some layer complexity to it. I'm going with 16 on this one. All I can say is that it's just a touch more complex. And now to the next matchup. We'll go with 3 versus 14. So 16, Hokus Pokus. So this is probably our first like major like heavy hitter of the night to show up. Bayway Liquors out of Jersey is such a renowned barrel picker. I did some barrels with him for Whiskey of Icons. Okay, there we go. That is not easy, folks. All right, so Hokus Pokus will take on the number 2 seed. 21C. Now, here's why you maybe want me to continue peeling the stickers instead of not and having them up later. I mean, I'm going to keep sipping these. And I could do something really rash, like this thing could fall down behind me. I could trip. I could pull a Jason, from Mash and Drum when he fell down. I mean, you could have a magic moment here tonight. And so we will be tasting. Now we are tasting the. All right, here we are. It has already begun. 3 versus 14. I'm beginning to wonder if Bayway Liquors, if this is not the one from Bayway that I had a while back. I actually bought one of these. So Hook and Ladder is our 14 seed. And I know absolutely nothing about this one, other than I really like the combo of 3 Cuvée, 1 46, and 6 Mocha. So here we go. Uh-oh. The Bayway nose isn't what I was thinking. The Hook and Ladder nose has got it by the edge right now. Three's a little bit like a bunch of crushed pecans. I mean, I dig pecans, but a bunch of them crushed is not necessarily what I want to smell right away. Whereas 14 is a kind of like a brown sugar super highway. I'm going to taste that one first. $14 is like it's one of those where the nose sure is pretty, but then when you taste it, it's kind of like, yeah, you don't taste as good as your nose. So let's go to 3. And that is where we find that, the Bayway, patented store pick, where you've got like, unique flavors pop out. What I am tasting in 3 is nothing I've ever tasted in a Maker's Mark private selection before. I'm getting like an oatmeal stout creaminess. I'm getting like some like cardamom, like really heavy cardamom, like in the back of the palate. On the sides, I'm getting that pecan shell bitterness. 3's got a complexity to it. It's got a really approachable style that is so sharp that I think 3 might be a contender here for the night. When I first smelled it, when I first nosed it, I did not know where it would go, but yeah. I'm gonna have to give it to 3, and go ahead and let that go to the next round. So I'll move that here. Trying to get myself a little bit in order here, folks. So I apologize a little bit. So hook and ladder is out. All right, puzzle bar is still in. These guys here. All right. There we go. So now we've got another matchup. Let's go to 8 versus 9. So we have 21st Amendment versus Big Cedar here. You can't have something named 21st Amendment and have a historian talk to you and not bring up prohibition. The 21st Amendment, we should be very thankful for that because it repealed prohibition. It repealed the Volstead Act, and it is a really important. Really important piece of American history. Look at that. I almost put up Bayway Liquors upside down. So there we go. This might get really interesting tonight, folks. I would not go away because I'm not spitting. Okay, so let's pour it. 8 versus 9. You don't think about it, but there's a lot of work. All this tasting whiskey, talking about it. Someone's got to do it. So Big Cedar's out of Missouri. Their combo here is P2, 1. They got 1 P2, 1 Cuvée, and then 8 Mochas. 21st is 1 P2, 5 Mochas, and 4 SPs. Now, if you have not already, it helps me with the algorithms and the AI overlords. Hit the like button for me tonight. I'd appreciate that. It helps me go a long way with making sure people see this while it's live, and also making sure that people see it after it has been recorded. And this is a note, too, to remind people that, tomorrow night we have another round of this. So the continuation of the Mocha Madness will continue tomorrow, and we have a members-only call-in show. So here we go with number 8. 21st Amendment. Thank you, Eric, for the super chat. The little $5 donation goes straight to the Bourbon Fund. Folks, if you give me a little action here on the super chat, I take that straight to the liquor store. Some people take their money straight to the bank. I go straight to the liquor store. And I'm saving up right now for one of those big hauls, you know, where you can say, like, this is $500 and I went into a liquor store. You know, things like that can be fun for YouTube. So, number 8 was really going down the line of like a cherry tobacco. You know, if you recall previously in that Bourbon Beyond one, there was a big, strong, powerful, pungent tobacco that I kind of like lasered in as like being chewing tobacco. This is more pipe tobacco, much more approachable, softer. It's got notes of cherry in there as well. Number 8's very interesting. Let's see what number 9 does. Uh-oh. Grab your marzipan buttons, everybody. Number 9 from Big Cedar in Missouri has got a big old blossoming marzipan note with some cornbread coming in underneath, a little bit of honey and butter and some pepper. Number 9 is going to win this one. Number 9 will be going on to the next round. 21st Amendment, while we appreciate your service to our country and getting rid of the Volstead Act, you ain't making it to the next round. Here we go. What's going to be next? Let's see. It's going to be 7 versus 10. All right, so obviously that video should have been longer in order for me to get the sticker off the wall, put the sticker on the board, and get the glasses ready, because what I was doing previously, I was going here, going there, and while it may be cool if I, fell down, passed out, or something like that, and look, that might have made YouTube glow, I don't know. But I do know this, I very much consider myself a taster, and I want to make sure I'm focusing on the tasting. So if you all will excuse me as I break away from what I had been doing and just kind of keeping my ass in this chair and sipping whiskey and getting the next whiskey bottle in the rotation. That way, I'm not wasting calories getting a sticker and putting it over here. You know what I'm saying? Got to put the mind where it needs to be. And I got my winners over here. So right now, we've got our winners as being... So Hokus Pokus won that round with the Maury. Number 9 being Big Cedar, whipped up on 21st Amendment. Bayway Liquors coming in strong, giving that my early favorite from what I've tasted. And Puzzle Bar really owned the tasting with Bourbon and Beyond. And of course, I picked the Bourbon and Beyond. So I've already kicked out the one that I tasted. And now we are going to go with Whiskey Magazine Liquor Barn. So this would have been a when they won the Icons of Whiskey. I was in the room when they picked this one, and Brad Williams from Liquor Barn, amazing palate. I used to be the American contributing editor for Whiskey Magazine. Great folks, great publication. Really do think highly of them. Corona Cigar from Florida, though. Listen, that's a heavy hitter. Just have Doug Pendleton in the chat tell you how much they are awesome. So we've got we've got basically two blue bloods here in whiskey. So when I saw this matchup, 7 versus 10, and we basically have an 8 stave Mocha, 2 Cuvée from Liquor Barn, and then we have an 8 Mocha, 1 Cuvée, 1 46 stave. So we have a very, very unique split up and style and everything. Fascinating. Let's see who wins. Number 7. And by the way, if you have a question you want to pop in the chat, please feel free to do so. I'm happy to always answer a question. Oh, some bitch. Oh, boy. That Liquor Barn just melting on down my palate like butter, just dripping on underneath that jawline, giving me all kinds of bits of pepper in the back. Butterscotch, butterscotch, butterscotch. Holy crap and a pita. This is a butterscotch bomb. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. Number 7, hitting it out of the park. And again, that's the Whiskey Magazine Liquor Barn pick. Let's see what Corona Cigar can do. Now, you see a name like Corona, and does your brain go straight to like, well, fuck, we got the coronavirus on up in here. And you think about the, the Corona sales of beer last year. Yeah, that's a real thing. Well, 10 is nice. It has a lot of variance to it. I think it probably would have won the majority of the face-offs tonight. There's something special about number 7. The number 7 being the Whiskey Magazine Liquor Barn pick. 7's got it going on. And when you got it going on, you got to keep it going. So 7 wins that round. Bye-bye, number 10. So you go on over here. Now we go to our next contestant. 6 versus 11. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so we got a super chat question in here from Johnny Abradabo. I hope I said that right. I hope I said it right. If I didn't, just spell it out for me in the chat and I'll correct myself. But he asks, how did you pair the seeds? Happy to answer that. 1, off of me tasting them previously. 2, after the amount of Mocha in there and the combos that they had. I think Mocha and Cuvée go really, really well together. I think Mocha, Cuvée, and 46 go great together. So that's kind of in my head while I'm doing this. And then reputation of the product, or of the picker. So like Bayway and Westport, both top 5 seeds because of the reputation to me. Like Bayway, I look at them as like they got it going on, They really, really do. They do a great job. But and so like this is a great example. This next round here, and thank you for the super chat. You just bought me, it's going straight to the Bourbon Fund. That's going to go to a bottle. So I appreciate that. So you are looking at now. We're looking at Justin's House of Bourbon versus the Aviary, and I have not had either one of these, but I like the stave combo, and I love their reputations. And Justin's House of Bourbon was created by a couple of friends of mine, both named Justin Thompson, of course. I've had a long-standing friendship with him. I used to write for him, and he's the owner of Bourbon Review. Great guy, and his brother Seth, great guy, and the other Justin, of course. He's been a part of Bourbon Review as well, and we've just great guys, and they've been a big part of bourbon. And Justin's House of Bourbon is the place where you can get really hard to find vintage products. And I think people tend to look at them as well, they cost an arm and a leg, and that might be true, but you didn't ask about how much did they pay for that bottle? And to have downtown rent, to own a building downtown in Lexington or Louisville, it ain't cheap. And also they do play the game of what the market will bear. And so Justin's House of Bourbon, to me, is basically, in a lot of ways, a replacement to what we would consider the secondary market. And that being said, they pick good barrels. So here we go. I'm going to taste theirs first. Wait, I think I swapped that around there. All right, so when I got to switch the... Oops. Is it a field shelter night? Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to start with Justin's House of Bourbon. A lot of honey in that. I'm talking like the raw honey, where you get a little bit of fleck of the comb. And the comb, well, a lot of people would argue with me about this, that it doesn't have flavor. I think it does have flavor. I think there's a kind of an earthy rawness in the cone when you get those little bits. Go to 11. Also a very honey-centric one. But this one's expressing itself in without the kind of rawness. It's more of a honeycomb cereal situation. Number 11, to me, this is a make a decision based on what you like in the moment. And I think I'm going to go with number 11 on this, just because, to me, it's more balanced. There's a touch of bitterness in 6 that was not a complimentary bitterness in comparison to what I get in 11. One more time. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Aviary on this one. So I believe this is an upset. Number 11 takes down a number 6 seed. Oops. All right, so let's go to the next one. 5 versus 12. And they say that's where the upsets usually happen. All right, so here we go with a taste off between 5 versus 12. We have a Westport whiskey and wine, the 5 seed, versus a Grandpa's Toddy out of Ohio. Now, one is packing the heat with the Mocha with 8 staves. and that's Grandpa Toddy's. And the other one is a little bit more conservative, 6 Mocha staves and 4 cuvee, and that would be the Westport whiskey and wine one. At Home Dad just joins us. Thanks for coming in. Normally, I don't start these things until At Home Dad gets here because, I mean, seriously, is it really a live stream if At Home Dad's not there? And, you know, I feel like I disrespected you tonight. Didn't mean to. I didn't know you weren't here. I wouldn't have started. But, so, what you missed is you missed a whole bunch of whiskey. Now, if you're just now joining us, or if you are getting to a point where you're thinking about checking out, you'll come back later to watch the rest. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss anything. And if you haven't already, click the like button. It goes a long way for helping me to attract new viewers, and I'd appreciate it. I'm all about education, all about teaching people how to taste, and not what to taste, but how to taste. It's my goal for you to learn how to taste, to find what you like through some of the things that I do. And I'm always open to answering questions, talking about my career, how I got here, and, that sort of thing. So I don't want anyone ever to feel like, they can't ask me a question, and so that's what this is all about. I'm going to go ahead and rinse my palate out a little bit. Gonna go with number 12. Number 12. Grandpa Toddy's. Man, I feel like I'm on the marina. There's like the seagulls coming in. The brine's all on up in there. This has got a big old funky seaside smell. Man. Now, Crumpler, my fine friend over there in the crumpin'. If the capital Alabama is Montgomery and wombats poop cubes, why do people still drink vodka? And did you decide to become a Civil War reenactor? Why, Crumpler. Now, I had never decided to become a Civil War reenactor. As a matter of fact, when I go out there in them hills and I just see all them flags and everything, I think to myself, why the hell are we in this war? It's a dumbass war. Because there was only one decision. And the reenactment, that is, I'd probably break my ankle on the way to go charge onto some kind of fake battleground that wasn't there, and some kind of fake musket. I'd fall on the ground and hurt my hip. I don't know why I just said that, but I did. And I'm sticking to it. All right, here we go. So I just tasted number 12, and that is a really... It's briny on the nose, and then you get to the palate, and it's like this. It's like a different whiskey. It's like what I just smelled something like I was about to get some briny action on up in here, and then I taste it, and it's like saying like, well, hello, I'm actually 1 part honey and 1 part malt, and I would like to take you to tea and crumpets later. I mean, that's what 12 is starting to like taste like. So the palate far overweighs whatever was on the nose, but still, the nose does tell of things later. Number 5. Now, this has got some funk going on here. This is a straight-up funky Comedina in a barn. Things are happening in that barn. You're walking through that barn. It gets in your mouth. You end up swallowing it. It's like weird shit. And it really has a lot of those like crazy-ass crazy ass flavors in it. Really, really crazy flavors. I'm going to say it's grassy, and I'm picking number 12 over 5, so another upset. So Westport Whiskey and Wine, where I do a lot of my bourbon shopping and almost exclusively my wine shopping, is getting kicked out of the tournament. It's too, like, earthy for me. Way too funky. Way too funky, way too earthy. And so 12 takes the cake tonight. But, you know, that nose may hurt it in later rounds. And I will also say that here's the thing, is number 5 has the exact same stave count as our number 1 seed, the Warrior Spirit. So I don't know if that means that we are looking at a potential number 1 seed getting kicked out of this tournament very early. But the fact is, I am destined to sip it later after sipping all these. And is my palate 100% right now? It is. I do feel very good about my palate. Explaining to you what I'm tasting, that's another story. 4 versus 13. Traveler guy saying here, Warrior Spirit would make Sarah smile for sure. Now that's a straight up awesome Hall & Oates reference there. You know, I have never ever shied away from my fandom of Hall & Oates. I've had Daryl Hall on. I've interviewed John Oates. My family, you know, my toddler actually sings to Hall & Oates on, you know, and he can't really speak that well, but he can sing the music, and he watches all the videos from the 80s, and he can do the moves. It's the most beautiful thing that I have experienced as a parent, is like seeing his passion for that music. And I do fear, though, one day I'm going to take him to one of my concerts, and he's going to go backstage and creep up on the artist. That would be very, very funny. And 3 Toes of Fury, leave him alone. He's a family man. He likes that one. He does like that one. 4 versus 13. Churchill's out of Washington, and Caesar's Palace, where I've lost much money and been approached by numerous prostitutes. Lots of prostitutes in that area. At Caesar's Palace. Said no to all of them, of course. And here we go. 4 versus 13. I love the commentary coming from my favorite YouTube handle in the world, 3 Toes of Fury. Watch out for those private eyes. They're watching you. And, of course, Traveler Guy says, that's awesome. Really enjoying this. Appreciate it. You know, listen, I am my passion for music is huge. And I love I think Hall & Oates is the most underrated duo. I mean, there's a lot of duos, and they're the best-selling duo of all time. But I think Hall & Oates is so underrated. Like, you hear their music all the time, and I think we take them for granted, you know, as like a fan of music. And here's the thing, like, people want to compare them to other musicians. They're like, that's a band. That's an individual. Those were 2 dudes like working together. No one ever talks about their guitarist. Their guitarist was the face of Saturday Night Live's like band forever. Like, I mean, they had like an amazing band. They have an amazing like group. Just Hall & Oates, so underrated. And I'm a big music fan. There's a lot of bad music out there that gets pushed on you as being good. A lot. And Hall & Oates is not one of them. In fact, I would tell you that they're undersold, even though they've had all kinds of hits. You know, and I'm just gonna go down the rabbit hole a little bit here, music-wise, but you know, like Billy Ocean. Billy Ocean was a great musician, and because he was in a time that got he got kind of sandwiched in between. He was in a time that did not really give like black musicians the stage they deserved. He got sandwiched in between like Prince and Michael Jackson, and like, you know, now he's like a god in reggae, you know. So like I feel like musicians are if I could sing, or if I could play anything, that's where I would be. But I'm not a musician. I just love music. I love listening to them. So anyway, here we go. Number 4. A lot of cigar box action here. So 13 has a lot of licorice to it. Number 4 is a big old like opening a cigar box, and you got all those like sweet smells. Wow. Chocolate bomb on number 4. I'm talking big old beautiful dark chocolate in here. Number 13. This one's not even close. Number 4, that big old chocolate bomb of a nose or a palate, just going on to win easily. Oh, well, thank you for my blazer love. This was one of my first like. I'm wearing this in honor of Derby. We have Derby coming up here pretty soon, and just a huge fan of keeping the tradition alive of wearing like crazy ass shirts. But now, folks, we've got a big taste off to come. Big one. Now we're in the top 2 seeds. Here we go. Wait, who went out of that one? So, puzzle bone. Keep the questions coming in here. We got to find out who, what seed won. All right, so let's take a look here. Yeah, Hokus Pokus. All right, so Hokus Pokus. So that's the 16. All right, there we go. Here we go. Craig Bloom clearly gets me. He says the board is clearly an afterthought after drinking bourbon, and you know, I hope you understand. I hope you understand what's going on here. I mean, while I do this for a living, and I am sipping small quantities, I am only human, and I do know that if I keep going back and forth and trying to fix the board, I'm going to miss out on what's going on here. Tight Cut says, is this the first time ever a Mocha tournament showdown has happened? It is indeed. As far as I know. I have no idea otherwise. But it's the first time I've ever done one. And I will tell you that I did this because Maker's Mark got rid of the stave. It was so popular. Everybody wanted it. And they just kind of like, it was, they moved on. And I think, and I don't really know why they did, but it's also okay. To me, it's part of the lore, the legend of being Mocha. And if you got a barrel pick that had Mocha in it, you will always be able to get it. So I do know that. Okay, so 2, which is 21C, 7 Mocha staves, 1 SP1, and 2 246. And then 16, which was our Hokus Pokus, which had that earlier, is 1P2, 7 Mochas, and 2 Cuvées. I will also tell you all a little story about 21C. 21C is a really great hotel bar in Louisville, also in Lexington, but they have their guy is one of the best barrel pickers in the business, and we had them in competition at San Francisco, and they nearly won Best Bourbon. So. Uh-oh. Wow. I said when I tasted Hocus Pocus, I really, really liked it. The nose is glorifying. It's gorgeous, as it was before. 21C taste. Oh. Wow. In a word, butter, salt, caramel. Those are 3 words when I said in a word. And so when I say in a word, I mean I'm going to be using words to tell you what I just tasted. America. Number 16. It's velvety. It's a real creme brulee kind of style. I really don't recall what I said earlier, but I like 16. I like 16 a lot. Going back to 2. All right, so I'm going to table this for a second and go to the next one. It's too close to call right now, and I need a bit of a break. So we're going to go to 1 versus 15. Un momento. All right, so now for the main, the top seed. And it occurred to me that I should be doing fresh pours for those they go up against, as I did not previously. So, fuck that guy. So what is I know, oh boy. I've lost 15. Where'd you go? Looking for 15. Where did you go, 15? That was not 15. That was 15. 15 just fell. Sorry, I just got bourbon running everywhere. It fell on the floor. And just got to make sure it's not hitting any cords or anything. So, yep, we're good. All right, so 15 versus 1. One's very vibrant. 15's kind of layered. One is, big old beautiful baking spices, butterscotchy. So it's got the sweet and spice going back and forth. But 15, Hokus Pokus, is not to be reckoned with. Is really, really good. I'm going to have to say that 15 is probably the second best thing I've tasted all night. But number 1 is as good as I remembered in so many ways. There's chocolate. There's all these baking spices are there. There's licorice. There is like a beautiful kind of development underneath my tongue, kind of rolling up underneath the jawline, just a big old kind of butterscotch sweetness coming underneath my tongue, which is normally like a bitter or like a spice coming underneath my tongue. But I'm gonna have to call it for the high seed here. But I do think it's like I think I poorly seeded Hocus Pocus, because I feel like that is probably the second best thing I've tasted all day. As you may recall, I was really wowed by it. There is a note of marzipan in here. There's so many good things going on with it, but like, there's just something special about the first seed. So that moves on. And 15 is out. I will say that I do need to re-pour a 16 in order to do this 16 versus 2. And now this is interesting. I screwed that up. Yeah. The 15 was Puzzle Bar. It should have been taking on Warrior Spirit. And the 16 was Hokus Pokus, which should have been taking on 21C. So we will be putting forth Hokus Pokus to the next round, and now the tasting of Puzzle Bar will commence against Warrior Spirit. Should I say this is an exhibition round? You know, by that I mean, like, I do not condone gambling. No one else can get these anyway. And if you've been here the whole night, I mean, this is your award. I mean, for God's sake. I've been all over the place here on tonight's tasting. But what do you expect? I mean, I'm literally drinking and talking. So, here we go. The actual, real taste-off between number 1, Warrior Spirit, and number 15, Puzzle Bar. Yeah, no way that's in the same league. That's out. So, the Warrior Spirit stays in. And as, Jenkins says here, Rare Bird 101, fingers crossed, good chance that Maker's Mark is going to win. So, the winner of tonight is Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark wins tonight. Round 2 is tomorrow. Not as many bourbons for me. And then we'll have the championship rounds next week. But Warrior Spirit does move forward. And that's going to call it as a night for me, as they say. Members, let's go ahead and have like a chat. It'll be I'll be like hitting you all up in the member community. And we'll have a quick rapid-fire chat. A chat, if you will. So, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to toast to you all with my number 1 seed, Warrior Spirit. Be safe out there. No licking handrails. No licking trash cans. And remember, vodka sucks. Unless it's being used for hand sanitizer. Cheers.